welcome back to the program. And we're starting the morning brief top stories with the economy, as the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria confirms the projection of experts with another hike in benchmark interest rate by 200 basis points to 24.75% from 22.75%, and it's the second increase this year. Furthermore, the Apex Bank retained the cash reserve ratio at 45%. Asymmetric corridor of the MPR was adjusted to 100 basis points / 300 basis points, with Nigeria's headline inflation surging to 31.7% in February. The committee found it necessary to hike MPR rate again, as expected by experts.
The considerations of the committee at this meeting focused on the current inflationary pressures and the need to anchor inflation expectations, as well as ensure sustained exchange rate stability. These considerations underscore the importance of the CBN's commitment to the price stability mandate and the need to urgently bring inflation under control to ensure that purchasing power of ordinary Nigerians is restored in the short to medium term. Members noted the continued rise in headline inflation, driven largely by food prices because of supply shortages and high costs of logistics and distribution. The committee, therefore, was of the view that addressing food insecurity is key to containing current inflationary pressures. On this note, members commended the ongoing efforts of the federal government towards addressing food insecurity. Some of these measures include the provision of various palliatives, release of grains from the strategic reserves, distribution of seeds and fertilizers, as well as farm implements for dry season farming.
And amid increasing pressure on the armed forces arising from security concerns, the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, is asking the military to reconsider its role in resolving civil disputes in order to focus on its constitutional mandate. He urges the military to go further in the analysis and investigations into the recent killing of 17 soldiers in Okwama in Delta State in order to avert a reoccurrence. General Rabo made the remark while addressing participants at a 3-day Joint Task Force Commanders Conference organized by the Chief of Defense Staff in Abuja.
This conference provides an avenue for a comprehensive evaluation of the implementation of the decisions reached during the main conference and other emerging issues with a view to addressing the threats to our national security. Importantly, I would like to recognize the uncommon sacrifice of the officers and men who were killed in Okwama in Delta State and all others who have paid the supreme price.
The perpetrators of this heinous crime must be made to face the full wrath of the law. To forestall future occurrence, therefore, there must be further conversations on the limits to aid to civil authority. As we encourage non-kinetic operations and community engagements, I believe that it is necessary for the armed forces to curtail the apparent descent to see-finish syndrome. That's my coinage.
The question is, without the operations, the non-kinetic operations of the army in combating kidnapping and terrorism, what happens, to residents, particularly in the north? Of course, that's bound to generate more talking points in the coming days. But in the meantime, a former Federal Commissioner of Information and elder statesman, Chief Edwin Clark, has condemned the killing of the 17 soldiers in Okwama community, describing the act as barbaric, which must be punished. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, Chief Clark also condemned the invasion of his country home in Kiagbodo and that of his father in Uheli, allegedly by the military, over allegations of harboring one of the suspects involved in the heinous act in Okwama.
have been very, very upset that army officers, 17 of them, 4 of them are officers, should be brutally killed in a country like our own, not at the war front, not counteracting any dangerous group, killed in cold blood. I said, no. We must look for these bastard people, these people who are barbaric, wicked, unpatriotic, evil. So I was therefore surprised when I got a call from the general, is it Absalom or something like that, asking me, apologizing to me. So I thought somebody died. No, he said we don't our tracked record, tracked your room, and that someone was there. I said, but how can that happen? Anyway, I have no house in Ugele. 2, my father had a compound in Ugele. It was later I discovered that it was not properly briefed. It was my house, my living house in Kabudo, with all security doors and everything. They don't even ask for the keys.
Staying with security matters, this time in Zamfara State, 10 persons have been reported killed and about 12 others abducted after bandits attacked Gidan Zuma community under Bungudu local government area. Eyewitnesses told Channels Television that the bandits stormed the area on Sunday night and started shooting indiscriminately, taking the people by surprise. And when contacted, spokesperson of the State Police Command, ASP Yazid Abubakar, said he was yet to get information about the attack. In a similar incident, bandits operating around Omehia forest also on Sunday in an attempt to invade Safe town, the headquarters of Safe local government area, killed a member of the Zamfara State Community Protection Guards. This happened as the personnel of the security outfit alongside the military engaged the bandits in a gunfight. Now, there's more on security. The military says it has released 230 suspected Boko Haram terrorists, made up of 219 male and 11 female, after profiling them in Borno State. A source within the military told Channels Television that the suspects were cleared after it was established that they were not terrorist volunteers, but were conscripted against their will. It was further gathered that the 230 suspects were handed over to the Borno State government through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development for reintegration. And still in the north, the Bishop of Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, Bishop Matthew Kukah, is challenging the federal government to demonstrate what he terms a clear commitment to addressing the challenge in the region. He criticized what he perceives as inadequate readiness of the government to effectively deal with the long-standing issues which have remained unresolved for decades. He spoke with Channels Television at an event in Port Harcourt, the River State capital.
It is clear that the federal government at the highest level knows what is going on. At least the intelligence community has an idea. There are key Nigerians who are saying quite openly that they know more than we think the rest of us know. And I think that it's a business of the federal government to find out those who claim to know where the bandits are, and those who are collaborating and cooperating with the bandits. I mean, it's the greatest humiliation of our nation. We cannot. The psychological impact on this on our children is unacceptable. So for me, it's something that the security agencies, in collaboration with those that they say, the people who have said quite openly, okay, that they know what is going on. And I think the federal government has the capacity to go after those people.
Well, as we head to the courts now, call this a rewriting of history, or you can also call it setting the record straight. The Port Harcourt Division of the River State High Court has ruled that Mr. Celestin Omehia is not a former governor of River State and as such is not entitled to the pensions meant for former governors and their deputies. After the expiration of the tenure of former Governor Peter Odili, Mr. Omehia was elected and sworn in as governor of River State on May the 29th, 2007 on the platform of the PDP. Following the legal battle that trailed that election, the court ruled that Mr. Rotimi Amechi was the validly elected candidate of the PDP and was eventually sworn in as governor. However, However, during the tenure of Mr. Nyesom Wike as governor of the state, he enacted a law recognizing Mr. Omehia as former governor. But in 2023, he withdrew the recognition and asked Mr. Omehia to refund all pensions earned, prompting Mr. Omehia to approach the court, demanding that he be recognized as a former governor of the state. Delivering judgment, however, on the matter on Tuesday, Justice Daketi Makio, however, held that the counterclaim by the state government asking Mr. Omehia to repay 695 million naira was lacking in merit, as he did not compel anyone to pay him the money. And a quick check on business. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, has described the unverified FX backlog as illegal. The Apex Bank governor made this known on Tuesday after the two-day Monetary Policy Committee meeting in Abuja. According to Mr. Cardoso, all valid transactions have been settled following the audit by Deloitte. And outside our shores now, 6 persons are still missing after a major bridge in the U.S. city of Baltimore has collapsed into the Patapsco River after a container ship crashed into it. The bridge snapped and plunged into the water at about 1:30 local time, along with vehicles and people. Authorities say a huge rescue is underway for the missing persons, while 2 others have been pulled from the water. All of them are believed to be part of a construction crew that was repairing potholes at the time that the bridge collapsed. And a quick touch on sports. Team Nigeria's boxing coaches want the sports ministry to do more for boxing, as attention now shifts to the Olympic Games in Paris, having set a new record at the 13th Africa Games in Ghana. And on the last day of sporting action, Nigerian boxers recorded resounding victories in their different categories, winning 8 gold of the 10 finals that they qualified for. Talk about concentrating on our area of strength, and one of which is boxing and, of course, weightlifting. If you recall how the female athletes have also done Nigeria proud.